So when we distill everything, now we've talked about the circle, right? We've talked about what IB is thinking from a data analytic point of view, right? There are four major analytical perspectives, right? In terms of you just understanding the different journeys that data sets would go through. So we have the first one there, which is really descriptive data, which I said at the beginning is what all we all have, right? I mean, data is always there, but I mean, the data is not going to do anything by itself. So, and descriptive data there talks about historical data, right? So we need to actually perform some form of analysis, right? You know, do some form of hypothesis testing there. And then when you start to do that, now when you start to layer some form of analysis on the data that you have, right? You've advanced that to diagnostic. Now you start to do some form of diagnosis there, checking your data, maybe categorizing your data. For example, I have my customer data. Are you trying to segment them to, maybe you're trying to segment by demographics. So, or where are my customers located? Or you're trying to segment them by sex, or which of them are males, which of them are females, or you're trying to segment them by age. You're trying to create different age brackets. When you start to do that, you're doing some form of analysis, right? You're trying to do some form of prepping, and that's why we say that, oh, the output of that will say you have a diagnostic data right there, because some form of analysis has been performed. Now, if you've done your diagnosis well, and this is really iterative, it's recursive. It doesn't mean that, oh, diagnosis needs to stop before we start to have some form of predictive data. But I mean, if you've done some form of analysis, which we call diagnostic, you start to see patterns, you start to see trends, and then you can start to predict outcomes. So you start to see that, oh, this my product is well suited for male within certain demographics that are within certain age brackets. That is what they prefer. So you start to have predictive outcomes there. So you can predict the guys, the customers that would actually buy your product in the market, right? I mean, a lot of analytics is layered on there. You see how the journey, you see how we've taken, you see the data journey, how we've taken it from descriptive to diagnostic to predictive. Now, there's also a perspective that talks of prescriptive, which is a bit further than predictive there. And prescriptive is actually the high end, right, in terms of data analytics, where, and today, I know a lot of us would have had some form of experience. Maybe you've gone to Amazon Prime, or you're using Amazon there, you have an issue on the product that you've just purchased. You go on Amazon to complain, you see the chatbot there. You will be chatting with the robot. Like, I mean, essentially, you're not interfacing with a woman until the robot, in terms of predictive analytics that is layered on that robot there, it's when the decision trees have been maxed out, that it hands over to a woman being there, or a personnel there. So that's what we call predictive, where we can actually have you know, some predictive outcomes automated, right, and layered with a lot of call it machine learning, or I mean artificial intelligence and all that, right? We start to see that we are getting to predictive, right? So you are really automating outcomes of your data. So I mean, when you can see patterns, you can make predictions there. You know the guys that will buy your product in the market. Then you have predictive data. When you extend that and start to automate it, right? Then you say you are making set of prescriptive data analytics. Yeah.
I should provide insight further. We have a question from Olushola Bengal Luffy, and thank you, Olushola, for the question. His question is, what is inferential analysis? Inferential analysis, what is that?
So inferential analysis.
Okay, can I take the lead on that?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
All right, so it's actually inferential analysis, and it is coined from inferential statistics, right? So from a statistic point of view, you have distributed statistics, which is about generalization of or summarization of your data sets, or summarization of the information that you have at hand. Say, for instance, you have your sales record over time in the past 5-10 years, and you're computing some basic statistics, trying to know what has been our average sales volume, what has been the average customer that you have over the years. So that is basically the statistics. However, when you want to take it further, to say, based on the information that is available, what generalization can we make? Then we talk about inferential statistics. Now, talking about analytics, inferential statistics is in tandem with predictive analytics, because basically what you're doing is that you are using the information at hand to make a future look, to take a future look, or to take a generalization. So that's just it. So it is a bit of semantic between statistics as a course of study and also the field of analytics as we have it today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olumide. I mean, I couldn't have done better justice. Thank you for that. Yeah.